Alright guys, good morning and welcome to another Alpha Daily Market Breakdown. Today we have a pretty interesting day, but first we're gonna go over yesterday's trade. We had one on AUD JPY. If I don't remember, AUD JPY. But we didn't have that one on this layout. It was right here. Here it was. So we were on the right side of the market, right? Remember, when we did the analysis, we were expecting we were right here. We were right here. And we were here, and we identified this supply zone, right? But as it was too close to our price and it wasn't covered by the 4-hour chart, we decided not going for it, instead going for the higher one, right? Well, the higher one was never touched. This one was touched. If we would have placed a trade here, we would have been out earlier. 10:20. But it's what it is, right? We didn't. We went for the safer option considering market low probabilities environment, and it's totally fine. That's a thing that happens in trading. Sometimes you get executed, your orders get executed, right? And sometimes you don't, and that's it. So it played out. It went straight to our TP. Once a price arrived to our TP zone, we basically decided to remove the order, right? Because once it's here, it invalidates our trading idea, because it has already moved what we expected price to move, right? So that was it. No more hours to add so far to our week. We stay in 4 hours, 4%, pretty good. Okay, now let's start with our daily process. Okay, just a second that I need to do. All right. First, let's check the economic calendar. Economic calendar. Here we are. Pretty stacked of high impact news. We have a 8:45 France inflation rate. Then 11 we have Euro unemployment and Italy's inflation rate. 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. is pretty loaded with German inflation rate and US core PCE, initial jobless claim, and CAD GDP, Canadian GDP. So personal income, personal spending, this will for sure generate some volatility. So we might want to stay out during these times on the USD, right? Let's put this. So and all right, now let's move on to our heat map. Let's check the relative strength of the pairs, right? What can we see here? Gold, strong all across the board. New Zealand dollar also, and AUD also, right? So if we want to put the strongest ones. We know that it's gold, AUD and NZD. It's not coincidence, right? The commodities currencies. So today I'm a little bit complicated. I don't know why. All right, strongest. So guys, what do you think? AUD and NZD, right? NZD and gold. Weakest all across the board, USD and CAD. Even considering that CAD is related to no, forget about that. I'm thinking about yesterday's news, but yeah, CAD is a major US trading partner, so it might get affected by the Fed keeping rates as it is, right? All right, so let's continue. So what will we trade here? What should we look, right? We should look strong versus weak, right? So gold is interesting, but let's check DXY first, lower time frame, right? We follow our process. Check DXY lower. And what do we have? We have all week strong, as we were expecting. And let's check the 8 hour. This move here. I'm gonna check the futures of the XY. Here we have this candle, this gap up, the meltdown. I do not like that. Okay, now it has more. I have this supply zone, right? Seems like a pretty decent supply zone. But we are way overextended, right? And look at this. Let's check the daily. We've been moving up non-stop. Wow, look at that. Look at this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 big green candles. Am I expecting another green candle for today? Definitely not. In fact, we did have a gap down, right? Have this gap here. It was filled during overnight. Many times. So I could expect for a move down, right? Before even, if it has to continue, it could, but I expect at least this move, or maybe this move, right? I don't care. What I'm interested here is about this range of the move. This is what we're gonna take advantage of. So now we have the XY. That is the weakest, right? And we're expecting that range of the move to go down. What should we check? We should check gold. I don't know if any of you trade gold. Gold is pretty much more aggressive. But look at the market structure. We're going down, right? Lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. So are we going to do lower high? Let's check what we have here. It's a clear supply zone. Clear supply zone. And the second is this one. So if you ask me, I wouldn't touch gold until, let me see. Yeah, look at these moves. When it goes down with strength. It just consolidates a little bit, then it melts again. And look at this up move. It seems like it's fighting too much, right? So let's move on and check NZDUSD. Oh, almost the same as gold, right? But we have a close above here. Look at this. That's pretty much a bullish. That's much more bullish than gold. Much more bullish than gold. So let's check for the 4 hour. Yeah. Okay. So the next quality supply zone, we have it here, right? Hola, hermosa. So just a sec. So here I see it much more interesting because we have a profit potential, right? Of let's go to the 15 minute, right? Okay, so we saw a market structure shift here towards the upside, right? Now let's say that we want to look for a demand zone to jump into the move. I would take this one. I would definitely take this one here. Boom. As you can see, we have this one too, right? Let's put the lower time frame demand. Boom. And you see you have this one too here, right? So when you have these two, you take the wider of the lowest. So let's say we put our trade, no. I don't know what this is happening, but all right, there we go. So if we put our trade here, let's see how much profit potential we have until our next quality supply zone. 3 hours, more than good for me. More than good for me. Okay, let's leave it this one there, and let's move on to AUD and NZD, right? Look at this, horrible. Wow. No, AUD and NZD. Sorry, we're looking for AUD USD. Okay, now we have a chart. Sorry, guys. All right, so clearly we were coming from a bearish market structure, right? We're doing lower lows, lower highs, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and suddenly, boom, higher high. So what are we looking for now? Higher low, right? All right. So where will we do the higher low? The higher low, I totally expect it to be right here in this demand zone. But the question is, we also have another demand zone right below it, right? Look at this. So I might go with this one. And let me see, 15 pips is totally fine. Have 50 pip distance, and let's check the next quality supply zone. So we could identify the supply zone like right here. Boom. Let's check it here. Quality supply zone. No, I'm not gonna put that. Quality supply like this. So $20.40 to 13. Let me see if we can refine. No, we can't. This is 64.57. 64.57. 51. 56. Yeah. Let's check. I'm just checking all the time frames to make sure it actually. Let's check the 4 hour, right? Okay, so in the 4 hour we have, yeah, kind of a week over week. That it will be from this to here, right? The week over week would be this. That is exactly what we're covering with our order. So yeah, I like it. I like that. I like the position. So if we're gonna fail, we're not gonna fail because we didn't consider a supply zone or a demand zone, so a wider demand zone. All right, so we have a 2.13 profit potential, R's profit potential in AUD USD. We're gonna set the orders right now. AUD and AUD USD. AUD USD. Okay. Let me put this so you can do a screen capture in right now. So you can have the levels. The entry is 0.64517. Stop loss 0.64312. Take profit 0.64953. And let's make a screen capture. If you see from the higher time frame perspective, we are meant to be short in the AUD and long in the USD, right? But that's from the higher time frame perspective. The COT guys. This is a short term trade, so okay, AUD USD order. These orders are gonna be removed if not executed by the time the USD reports are meant to come out, right? NZDUSD order. Let's go for the NZDUSD. NZDUSD. So we're gonna put here, we have NZDUSD, another long. You know what? I'm gonna include this. So it's gonna reduce our profit margin potential. I don't know. We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna go for 2 hours. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for 2 hours. Okay, so this is the trade. Make a screen capture there. We're entering at 0.5916. Stop loss 0.5898. Take profit 0.59531. 53. We're gonna do this, and maybe you can hear my kids in the background. The reason why we do all this, right? They are the ones that grown us as dads, so our job is to become the alpha. Alright guys, basically those 2 trades for today. I think they're pretty clean, right? Based on microstructure, they're content trend, but we already saw the break of the shift in market structure on the longer time frame. So, and we're not trading. Our profit margin is within the range that doesn't break the higher time frame market structure, right? The 4-hour market structure. What I mean by that is that if you go to the 4-hour, right? Look, for us to break the 4-hour market structure, we should close above here, right? Sorry, that was pretty above here. We should do something, but we're not. This is something that there needs to be really a decent strength to happen, and we're not looking for that. Why? Because we don't want to risk it. We go for the low-hanging fruit. Sometimes people call it that. I think it's pretty accurate. So hopefully we're gonna get executed. Our orders are gonna get executed anytime soon. Else, we are still in 4 hours. We're doing awesome. Have a great day, and remember, be an alpha at everything you do. See you guys.